without filling, right? Yeah, I gotta have that. So we're gonna use our big bowl, and Juliet, you're gonna help me with this. We're gonna dump in the ricotta, and since you did such a good job with the eggs before, I'm gonna have you crack me 2 more eggs. Here we go, right here. Here's the first one. You can crack it right into the bowl. Good job. Oops, pull it apart just a little bit. It'll fall right out for you. Perfect. Now drop it in with the ricotta and put your shell over here. And then your egg can go right in with the ricotta. I know it's messy, huh? Cooking's messy. And we'll go 1 more into that bowl. Now in our ricotta mix, we're going to use some parsley. We've got about 2 pounds of ricotta here. We're going to use 2 eggs, so it's 1 pound of ricotta per egg, and we've got about 1/4 cup of parsley. And because we're making spinach raviolis today, we're going to use a pinch of nutmeg. Nutmeg is going to brighten up your greens, whether you're doing them sautéed, whether you're using the spinach inside the raviolis. We're just going to add just a little pinch just to give it a little brightness. A little salt. Go ahead and drop your eggs in there for me, sweetie. A couple little pinches of salt. Perfect. And then a couple pinches of pepper. And then, of course, I mean, it is me cooking today, so we do have to have at least some garlic. So we're going to throw, well, you know, a couple tablespoons of garlic in there. And we're going to give this a mix, which we've got a spoon right here that we can mix up our ricotta mix. Trace, I'm going to let you go ahead and do that. Now this is the same mix that you would use if you were making some lasagna or if you were making baked manicottis or anything like that. You would use this same ricotta mix. It's a pretty basic egg and cheese. And then we're going to add one last little thing. You want to throw a big handful of that in there for Mom? 1 more. Very good. Here you go. Nice. So that doesn't seem that hard, huh? No? Okay. So what we're going to do, I think that's mixed beautifully, is we're going to go ahead and fill some raviolis now. I'm going to do the first one, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and do that from there. Let's grab this little fork right here. So when your pasta's been sitting in the flour, it's had time to sit and rest and dry out a little bit, which is great. So to make it a little bit easier to work with, flip it over, get it all floured up. And so we got a bottom and a top. It's like Dr. Seuss pasta. Instead of green eggs and ham, we got green pasta and sauce. What do you think? All right, we're just going to take a little dollop. You don't want to overfill your raviolis because then they tend to break apart in the water. We'll use this as the bottom. And we'll just make a couple. So we're just going to drop some some ricotta mix in there. Space it out enough so we can use the cutter. And there's a third one. Let's get the end off here. And I think that middle is going to be perfect for us. See what we're doing? We're kind of making them the same size. And then we'll take the little pastry brush. Just so the pasta sticks, we'll give it a little tiny brush. And I'm going to do the first one, and then we're going to do another batch, and I'm going to let you and Mom do the next batch all by yourselves. Sounds all right, huh? Mm-hmm. You should be fine. Tracy, have you made pasta at home before?
No.
No? So this is a new experience. Juliet, what do you think? Do you think you can make pasta at home with Mom? Yeah? Okay, so we'll just put the top on. And what the water's gonna do, it's gonna make the top stick to the bottom so it doesn't fall apart. And then we take our ravioli cutter and we cut some raviolis. There we go, raviolis. Nice spinach raviolis.
Wow.
What do you think?
Cool.
All right, we'll set them aside right there. Oops, we don't want to bend it. They're kind of tender. The nice thing about them, making them homemade, is that you can make the pasta in any flavor you want. You can add some sun-dried tomatoes to your pasta. You can use whole wheat flour. You can add anything you'd like to it. And our ravioli.
How would you do that instead of the spinach? You would.
Yeah, instead of the spinach. Now, in the place, you can replace it with almost anything. Sun-dried tomatoes, roasted red peppers, whole wheat flour. You know, the mixture is always going to be the same. 3 cups of flour to 3 eggs to a little bit of moisture. And your moisture can come in the form of lemon zest and lemon juice or whatever it is that you'd like to flavor your pasta with. So let's give you one more piece and we'll make one more round of these. And I'm going to let you guys do this round. You ready for this, Juliet? You remember what we did? Yeah? Okay, so you'll turn your machine back to 1, which is right here. You always want to make sure you start out on the 1 because it's the widest one. That way it'll slide through, and then you go back to, with a spinach pasta, I don't like to go as thin as I would with like a regular egg pasta because I want it to have a little more substance. Go right ahead. So then I only am going to go to like a 3 on the machine. It's got little knots where you can move it to the right size. Because on these next ones, you're going to be brushing the water on there for Mom. What do you think? Okay, now we're going to go back to, see, now I've moved it right over to a 3, which I think is plenty thin enough for a spinach pasta. And I'll help you catch it. This is when you use your arms and your hands, and Juliet's arms and her hands. And go ahead, honey. Go ahead and hold the pasta for Mom. Put your arm right there like that. Perfect. Just like that. So just like you guys would be making it at home, all by yourselves. There you go. Now lay it out flat on the counter. Perfect. And let's cut it in the middle. So we've got 2 stripes. Oops. Right down the middle. Now go ahead and lay it out.
Okay, ready?
And just a little tiny dollop, less than a teaspoon, because you want to make sure, that's probably fine. Yeah, because you want to make sure that it's going to stick, not explode on you. See, now you guys could make homemade raviolis for dinner at home. It's a nice project for you and Mom to do together, huh? You're awfully quiet, you. Juliet, what's your favorite meal? Pizza? All right, that's pretty fair at this age. Do you like raviolis?
Yes.
Do you eat your spinach? You do? So what do you think? This is going to be everything all together. Now Juliet's going to help you with the paintbrush and paint little squares around the raviolis. So when Mom puts the top on, it'll have something to stick to. Yeah, go ahead and get a little flour on that so you're not sticking, and get it all spread out and ready. Right around the edges. Perfect. Yeah, now do the same thing around all of them. So Tracy, I understand after our last cooking show, you made some homemade tiramisu.
I did.
How did that go for you?
It was great.
Very good. Which
And
one
I took
did
a
you?
picture of it.
Oh, did you? Oh,
I
good.
did.
We'll have to see. What kind did you
I
make?
made the white chocolate with raspberry.
Very nice, and it was good.
Great.
Very nice. So it was an easy working recipe.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean you figured it out obviously
I did,
because
yeah.
you made the tiramisus.
I did.
Very nice. All right. You like to paint, Juliet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. You're painting with your food instead of with paper and paints. You didn't know you could paint your food, did you?
I think I did.
You did. All right.
Pizza.
Your pizza, yeah, I guess you kind of paint your pizza, don't you?
You make focaccia bread.
Yeah, you paint
that, she paints that.
the oil and stuff on that. All right, now Mom's going to go ahead and top it. And you can stretch it if you need to stretch it. You can, I mean, you just want to be gentle, not to tear it, but it's a pretty pliable working pasta. Are you hungry? Yeah, are you going to eat some macaroni today? What do you think you like better, the lemon fettuccine or the spinach raviolis?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah. All right, now we need our pasta cutter. Yeah, that's perfectly, yeah, that's fine. You just press down. There's two of them.
I'll start this way and you do that way. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, make sure you get it all the way through to the counter. Let me show you, honey. If you need to do a little tiny bit of a wiggle to get it out, that's fine. You may want to dip your cutter in a little bit of flour first. And then look at that. You made a ravioli. We'll just set them aside.
Good job.
See, teamwork.
Sticky now.
Yep, get a little flour if it's sticking. Just stick your fingers in the flour a little bit. Yeah, don't be afraid of it. There you go. One more. And we'll be good. Yeah, just set them in the flour. Then when we drop them in the water, they'll float.
That's messy.
Yeah, but they'll all taste the same. Messy or not. After your second or third time making raviolis at home, it'll be a breeze.
Good job. That's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, now it's a fun project instead of, you know, on a Sunday afternoon. It'd be a fun project to make raviolis. There you go. Set them down, and we're gonna, and I think that's good. We've got some raviolis to cook, and we got some pasta to cook. So we can just, I mean, all this stuff you can reuse because we don't want to throw it away. We just ball it back up and start over again. But I think we're good with the spinach raviolis. And what do you think? You think that's easy enough to do?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I'm
it's
surprised.
really, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you watch people make pasta by hand, like Sydney and Jordan and I
Right.
just did, and it seems like a lot of kneading and a lot of work.
Right.
When you pull out the tools, it goes so much quicker. With a food processor, it's just a little zip, 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 and you have pasta dough. And then you can run it through with these attachments, they make them in spaghetti and fettuccine and ravioli attachments, so you can do all of them. And then, like you said, you know exactly what goes into your food that way. And it's a nice project to be able to do together.
Great.
Yeah, so, all right, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and clean up a little bit, and I'm going to get cooking lunch. You guys hungry?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's switch out, and I'll get cooking.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for all your help.
Thank you.
Okay, now that we're all cleaned up, we're getting ready to cook some pasta and feed some kids. So we've got the raviolis that Juliet and Tracy made that I'm going to go ahead and drop in the pasta water. And we also have a big, giant platter of homemade fettuccine, lemon fettuccine that is. I'm going to drop the fettuccine first because this may take, it's a little bit thick. It may take this will probably take about 3 minutes to cook. And the raviolis, maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes. And we're going to toss this with some nice butter and Parmesan. And we're going to put some Nona sauce on the raviolis. So come on over to the stove with me and let's get cooking. So, with the fettuccine, we're just going to I'm going to set this right there and very gently